muffler, wheels.
Oh boy, they just did a terrible job with this.
It's time to play lift the muffler onto the jack. People, it's midnight. We have stock wheels on the car. We have a stock exhaust on the car. But I grabbed the wrong bolts for the connection between the section 2 and 3 right there. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to get it completely done tonight. But I am rolling this out of the garage right now because I'm just beat and the Audi belongs in here. Do a quick walk around tomorrow, but the car is looking quite sharp. Actually looks like a decent vehicle now. Stay tuned. See you tomorrow. 46 M3. Time to finally give it a wash. So what we're going to see right now is me give it a little bit of a bath, try and get some of the road grime off and make this car look presentable on the outside. Also forgot to mention, the wheels that came off of the M6 are sold, so we're gonna load those up into my Explorer and drop those off a little bit later today. Alright, so wash is all done. Let's take a quick walk around it and see how she came out. So, not too shabby looking. Front bumper is not pretty. It is what it is. Let's take a step back here. So we got too shabby. Not too shabby. This is no wax, no clay, no nothing. Just a good old-fashioned wash. Alright, so next up on this, we are going to clean the interior. So we are going to do the seats with the steamer and any other leather spots with the steamer as well. Going to vacuum the carpets and going to use various cleaners on the dashboard, tops of the doors, and some glass cleaner to make this thing shine a little bit better on the inside. And we'll be ready for photos very soon. Stay tuned. Yeah, so done with 2 seats and a center console. I'd say that this rag is garbage. Seats are never going to be new again. I mean, they got 200,000 miles on them. 15 years old. They're never going to look new. And they weren't properly cared for to begin with. these seats were moisturized every few months and taken care of, they would look pretty good. But unfortunately, somebody didn't do that. We're going to make them look as good as possible for the age. So basically that was steam cleaning it. Got to steam clean the back seat still, which I won't waste your time with. Moisturize it and wipe down the windows, and we should be good to go. Driving around the 200,000 mile E46 M3. So today what we're going to do is go through how the car drives, how the car handles, and my general opinion of the car now that I've done most of the things that I've wanted to do to it to make it more saleable, make it more presentable, and make it a little bit better. One of the major things that I don't like about this car, which I honestly am not going to spend the money on, is the suspension. This car has H&R coils in it, and they're terrible. The car handles relatively well. I can't complain about that, but I think that's just because it's a really well-built and well-engineered vehicle. The H&R coils ride like garbage. Absolute garbage. They are terrible. It's like driving a Civic with cut springs. It looks good, but the looks don't make up for the fact that, as you can hear, it rides really badly. It handles really well. I can't complain about that, though. Just wish some traffic would free up so I could drive it a little bit quicker. Oh. Okay, so things that I like about this car. The engine is a gem. Even though this car has 195,000 miles on it, I highly doubt that this is the original engine. If it is the original engine, it definitely does not have the original rod bearings. For the people that don't know, the E46 M3 from 01 to 03 was the subject of a recall where the rod bearings were not made to spec, and the cars would spin their rod bearings. No good. BMW replaced a lot of engines, and they installed new rod bearings to remedy the problem. This car, personally, I've taken it up to about 7,500 RPMs, as you'll see in other videos, and it runs great. It's a gem. I have to say, this engine does not run like it's got 195 on it. It really is smooth. There's no noise on startup. There's no noises driving around. Power delivery is pretty smooth. Has a little bit of lag from like idle to, I'd say, 2,500-ish. You feel kind of just a lack of low-end torque, and then all of a sudden it just hits you like a ton of bricks. But the revs just, it keeps going and going. It's a ton of fun, and I'd say this side of a 911, the most fun 6-cylinder that you can possibly buy. Heel towing in this car is perfect. Absolutely perfect. There are very few cars that you can hop into and immediately nail a decent heel towing. This is one of them. Engine really is a lot of fun. And it gets up and goes. It's a lot of fun to drive. Steering is a little bit loose on center. I've heard that these cars have some kind of rubber coupling on the steering shaft, which tends to wear out and causes some play. I'm sure at 200,000 miles that is the case. Once you load the steering up, though, very, very, very precise. Really like it. The car really feels confident. In contrast to my Audi, the Audi will do everything that you ask of it, And a lot of that has to do with its four-wheel drive system and all of its little electronic wizardry. But this car is just naturally excellent at going through a corner. When you put this car into a corner, you feel very confident. But all around, this is just a lot of fun, and I think it's a ton of value for the money. One thing I would advise against, though, if you are looking at one of these cars, do not buy the SMG. It sounds so good. In terms of this car, value-wise, I think that this car is unbeatable. It's a fun car. It's relatively inexpensive. As I said, I stole this thing. They're cheap. I mean, I got it really cheap, but they are pretty cheap cars to buy. And to get entry into the M Club with this, not a bad choice. Honestly, I think that this is the best body M3 in terms of power and drivability. I think that the new cars are far more easy to drive, but they are not rewarding to drive, which is a very big difference between those two extremes. A new M3 will smoke this car on any track, no questions asked. However, it's not going to be nearly as fun to drive as this car. You can't beat that naturally aspirated sound. You can't beat that huge power band in terms of revving it out. It's just fun. You just enjoy yourself with this. And I know I'm not alone on that sentiment, saying that this car is the best M3 body-wise. I have friends that have these cars. I have a friend of mine that has a 997 Turbo, has an E46 M3. I have a friend that has a brand new GT3 RS, has an E46 M3. I have a friend of mine that has a 458. He sold his E46 M3 and now he's looking for another one. Everybody likes them. God, this car is so much fun to drive. I really don't want to sell it, but money's money. And I've kind of had my fun. So, final verdict? This is definitely a buy. E46 M3 is a fantastic car to drive, even with this crazy mileage on it. It's fun, it's relatively quick, and you're getting a ton for your money. If you're looking to get into a performance vehicle and you're looking for something German, I'd look no further. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.